Hello and welcome. This isn't what I usually upload on the channel. This video is about an indoor orienteering competition held inside an empty office building. This is the behind the scenes look of how I approached it, what was harder than I initially expected. The first day of the event I started by walking through the building. It was an unused office building, which is not what these competitions usually are held at. It's normally at some kind of school with classrooms, gyms and other rooms with visual impact. Here the rooms were empty, white flat walls and no furniture. There was not much to work with. That was going to be the main challenge of this event, and I wasn't sure at that point that I was gonna get away with anything I liked. I started by using the only recurring feature in this building, the sink area on each floor. Looking back at it, I should probably have spent more time here, because I got some of the strongest images from the event here, and I only got a few images with a few different angles and athletes. After that I started to look for people in interesting positions. For example, this person reading the map in front of the big windows, or this person punching control in front of the same big window. The organizers had set up some themed rooms, like they usually do. For example, this pool and bar themed water station and the balloon room. I used these rooms to get some visual interest and colors to an otherwise very bland and neutral office space. Later in the day I got some direct sunlight in through the windows. It was good light, but hard to get the most out of. That's because at one moment could be a stream of runners coming through an area, then nothing for a couple of minutes. That made me take a page out of wildlife photography. If you see a behavior, it's usually worth waiting, because it's often repeated. So that's exactly what I did, and got some great results from it. I finished the first day off by working through my mental shot list. Used my 7200 to get some isolating shots of the runners, some slow shutters to emphasize the movement in this unusual space, some over the shoulder shots of the athletes reading the map, and some crowd shots. For the second day of the event, the organizers had opened up the big parking garage beneath the office building. It was used for a big labyrinth, and as expected, the light down there was pretty bad. The light was roughly 2 to 3 stops darker than a normal indoor sporting hall, and had a noticeable 100 Hz flicker. That made freezing action pretty hard. I had to drop down to a shutter speed of 1/400, which is about as slow as I'm comfortably going when trying to freeze motion. And even then I was shooting between 8 and 12,000 ISO at f2.8. And because of the flickering I had to use the mechanical shutter. That dropped my camera frame rate down from 20 frames per second down to just 12. That made my usual approach of shooting a quick burst of images and catching the best stride less effective. I tried to time the first frame in the burst to a good point in the stride, but that was difficult, especially since electronic viewfinders has a slight delay that gets worse in low light. Labyrinth was the main attraction of the day, so I spent a lot of time down there to get the most out of it. I did occasionally leave to photograph the outdoor passages that were added for the second stage. The light outside was strong and clear, and nice change from the dark indoor conditions of the garage. I also went back into the office building to get some more images there, before finishing off the event down at the garage again. For how terrified I was when I first looked around the building and found it completely deprived of furniture, I'm glad to have experienced it. It's a reminder that I have the skills to overcome most challenges, and It's only by challenging yourself become better at something. But with that said, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Feel free to like the video, subscribe, and comment what you thought about this type of video. And I will see you next time.